welcome to my channel. If you're on the internet, which you are, you've probably heard the word kawaii. If you watch any J-fashion creators like myself or are getting into J-fashion or Japanese culture, you have probably heard it over and over and over. Kawaii this, kawaii that, kawaii that. You might find yourself asking, well, what the hell is kawaii? You definitely want to stick around because there is a lot of misinformation surrounding kawaii culture and Japanese culture on English internet, so stick around because we will be correcting some of that misinformation. Kawaii is a concept that has roots going back several centuries in Japan, and one of the earliest noted literary references to this concept is from Japan's Heian era, which is like in the 900s to the 1000s. A court lady, Sai Shonagon, wrote what is now known as the Pillow Book. It was almost akin to a diary, which per the end of the book, she accidentally left out on a cushion that she put out for a guest to sit on, and the guest took it and revealed it to the court despite her begging them not to. In the Pillow Book, there is a section which is translated to adorable or cute things, in which she lists the following among others: the face of a child drawn on a melon, a baby sparrow that comes hopping up when one imitates the squeak of a mouse, a child whose hair has been cut like a nun's examines something. The hair falls over his eyes, but instead of brushing it away, he holds his head to the side. This, too, is most adorable. Sei is essentially calling small, charming, delicate, cute things kawaii. Kawaii is typically translated to cute, however, it has more nuance behind this, and there's not a direct translation into English, so there's a little bit of context lost when we translate it. In their thesis, The Barbie Phenomenon in Japan, Arisa Shibagaki explains that the etymology of kawaii comes from the praise of small, delicate things. From this time on, there are depictions of cute, small, delicate things in art and literature. However, to get to where kawaii as we know it today really started to flourish, we need to fast forward to the 20th century. Takahashi Umeji, a self-taught artist known for the art style he developed, opened a stationery store in 1914 which sold stationery and other similar things with his designs on them. He used the word kawaii in the shop's advertisements to attract female customers. Post-World War II, Japan experienced rapid urbanization. This, as most massive social shifts do, caused a nostalgia and longing for a simpler time. According to Japan House LA, Astro Boy, created by Osamu Tezuka in 1952, is considered to be a milestone for the modern kawaii movement. During the 60s and 70s, Japan experienced an economic boom, putting young people on the map as target consumers. Brands began marketing towards this young audience, with Sanrio, one of the brands globally known as synonymous with kawaii, being founded in 1960. Many such other brands were founded, rebranded, such as Sonex, or grew to huge popularity during this time. So, we're going to address some of the misinformation I referred to earlier here. You may sometimes see people mistakenly say that the origins of the kawaii movement are this handwriting that was ubiquitous among teenage girls in the late 60s through early 70s in schools in Japan. This is actually untrue, and I believe I found the reason that you can find this misinformation on so many websites if you Google the history of kawaii. It was this Tumblr post that I believe proliferated this idea because it was very popular, in which this Tumblr user claims that the origins of the kawaii movement are this handwriting. So please be mindful and check sources whenever you are reading things on Japanese history, culture, whatever, because I see crazy misinformation all the time. That's part of the reason I started making these videos, is to correct some of that misinformation because I'm autistic and research is my hobby, and I have no problem putting dozens of hours of research into one video for no pay. Anyway, this handwriting was actually a symptom of the rise of kawaii culture, which was rapidly gaining popularity across Japan already before the handwriting. Sometime between the late 60s and very early 70s, girls across Japan in school started writing in a handwriting with mechanical pencils. This handwriting is defined as having big, round, stylized letters, often having doodles lines within the letters, and writing horizontally instead of vertically, which is what is usually seen in Japan, and sometimes even adding letters of the Latin alphabet. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, I was definitely writing in cute handwriting with hearts for the dots of the eyes. Now I just write in all caps and I get comments on my handwriting all the time. I had very neat handwriting and little hearts as O's, little hearts as the dot on the eyes. Anyway, teachers said that this was illegible, they couldn't read it, and so it was banned from many schools in Japan. And this is a phenomenon that has actually had linguistic research done on. Girls continue to write in this style, known as Kawaii handwriting, even past it being banned from schools, causing many girls to end up being expelled. This is just one of the many ways in which Kawaii culture has become synonymous in some ways with rebellion in Japan. By the 80s and 90s, Kawaii culture was in full swing. At this point in time, Kawaii merchandise and media had a sort of recognizable look and vibe to it. Colors are often softer pastel, though not always. Characters tended to have big, rounded features. Drawing styles tended to be very round. And it was at this time Japan started to see massive global success in exporting Kawaii culture. From Tamagotchi to Hello Kitty to Studio Ghibli to games like Animal Crossing to J-pop to many of the famous J-fashions. Kawaii culture enamored people from every walk of life, from every corner of the globe. Kawaii is not only limited to products, and anything that fits the criteria of cute, charming, adorable, delicate, etc., is considered kawaii. Japan's government really embraced this worldwide phenomenon of kawaii, and the country was able to pretty successfully rebrand themselves as being synonymous with cute things. Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs even began to appoint kawaii ambassadors in 2008 to ingratiate the country's public image even further with the rest of the world. The topic of Japan's government's and military's morally corrupt history is a topic for another day, though, one I can get into if there's interest. This is an interesting tidbit. Kawaii culture is partially to thank for our front-facing cameras on our phones. What? There was a phenomenon called orikura in the 90s in which people would go into these kind of like photo booths and they would use like a computer screen to digitally manipulate their pictures and kind of add like stickers and stuff to it, you know, like very like kawaii-fied pictures, which a lot of us still do today. I love to add stickers to my very Keiko word pictures. And cell phone companies in Japan noticed this and they wanted in on that moolah, so they added front-facing cameras to cell phones by the late 90s. And no surprise, Apple saw this idea and thought, you know who else would love that? And added it to the iPhone 4 in 2010. I digress. Today, kawaii has taken on a very specific meaning in the West, so we mainly use it to reference characters, media, fashions, aesthetics, products, etc. that have a certain cutesy or like sweet element to them. In Japan though, you will still hear people using kawaii to reference pretty much anything that's cute. I will show this street interview I watched here.
可愛いって自分にとって何ですか？何使う言葉ですか？
褒め言葉。
私例えば可愛いって使ったらどう思いますか？
嬉しい。褒めてくれてるってなります。
他の人に可愛いですよって言ったら、
それは全然 OK です。
使ってほしくないとかあるんですか？
ない。かっこいいって言われたい人が可愛いって言われるっていうのはちょっと嫌だなって人もいるかもしれないけど、
自分にとって可愛いですか？ファッションとか物とか。
顔が目がクリクリとか、あと愛嬌があるとか、そういう人の可愛いって言ったものだったら。ゆるっとしたゆるキャラ的なやつ。
男性同士でお互いは何か可愛いことありますか？
いっぱいありますよ、そんな。
いいですね。
言ってしまったら。
マジこれ。全部、一番可愛い。
寝起き。
寝起き。あと、なんか、性格が可愛い。
なんか長男なんですよ。けど、うちらの弟みたいな。なんか本当に可愛いなって思ったら可愛いって言っちゃう。コスメとか服とか、洋服とかは結構、ショッピングとか行って、なんかいいやつだったら、これ可愛いとか、女の人とか、見て可愛いなって思ったら普通に使う。
So, in Japan, kawaii is still used to just mean cute, and not only to reference kawaii culture and the kawaii movement as a whole. There are also subsects of kawaii now, like yume kawaii, yami kawaii, and goro kawaii. Let me know if you want me to cover any of those, I'd be happy to. Congrats! Now you shall never again be befuddled by kawaii. Your final grade in Kawaii 101 is... A-. I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, comment, leave your J-fashion, kawaii culture, fairy cake questions below. I would love to answer them, and thank you for watching.